Glorious day to you, my friends. Welcome to Shine, Stargate Heart, Illuminate Your Natural Essence. We are on day number 40. We are exploring our heart centers using the magical chant Om Mani Padme Hum. Katuru Urshana Hasaya Katayaratata. And we're on day number 40. We're using the Mala of Joy, where we break up the 108 seeds into 9 groups of 12. And each of the 9 groups represents one of the chakras in our Merkaba, our light body, our ascension vehicle. And when this spins around, it generates our auric field. And the 9 chakras down at the bottom of our Merkaba is, holding off a sneeze here. Okay, mute is off. Starting off at the bottom of our Merkaba, there we go. Vasundhara and the Earth Star Chakra. Muladhara. Man. Urtakais Nata Arhikatar Hasata Harshia. Muladhara, the root chakra. Svadhisthana, the sacral chakra. Manipura, the solar plexus chakra. Anahata, our heart center, the heart chakra. Vishuddha, the throat chakra. Anya or Agnya, the third eye chakra, and our crown chakra, Sahasrara. And then at the top of our Merkaba, Vyapini, the goddess who is everywhere, the soul star chakra. We can access everything through Vyapini. I mean, we can access everything through our crown, but outside of this idea of ourself, our sva, our personal energy, our personal, our ba, the aspects of this life, in our soul, the ka version of our soul is all the energy, all the decisions, all the karma that we have generated over all of our lifetimes. And, excuse me, water is life, my friends. And in the ba, and in this lifetime, where most of our awareness, when we're focused only in our lower chakras, is all of our decisions, all of our energy, everything that happened in this life. And when we only focus on our memories and our experience from this life, we're living in the lower chakras. We're living in this physicality, and we're limited by this physicality. The first step in our ascension is moving into our heart centers and living in our heart centers. Living through loving kindness, compassion, joy, and harmony or balance, which is also temperance and prudence. We talked about that a couple days ago. Maybe it was yesterday, who knows? All these days, the information flowing through. I am here at Genesee Valley Park, yet another Olmsted Park, magically designed. The star of the show today is this 100-year-old oak tree. I wondered what was calling me here. Kutur ushana atira hakatara akaya. Kushu'ut ura hakanata arihitakaya ha. So we'll just go up there for a moment. So hutur ukushaya ta atira tata. The stability, the strength of the oak tree. When we're satisfied with Manipura, when we're open with Manipura, when we're flowing the energy of Manipura, we don't doubt what we wish to create, because we know it does not come from the ego. It comes from our essence, the entirety of our soul, the Atma, of our inner being, because we are aligned with our inner being. And we understand that there is no separation. So we choose many acts that are considered selfless only because we choose to act from our heart centers, and we know that we, the self, the individual egoic self, will benefit as the whole, the all benefits. Kutur ashkana era hatatiriyataha. And last night I was at a fundraiser, and a friend of mine won an award for 25 years of selfless service, of dedication, devotion, stability, strength. He is an amazing selfless soul. And I'm honored to know him. Kuchuru usakatari ashana hatitira hatatira ha. So this tree is amazing. Kuchuru hakatira akananatiara ha. Ashohonoto uruhukutara akaya. How about that? Are we back to where we were? Nope. All this movement. There, that's better. Yeah. Hopefully that wasn't too loud. There we go. And also using the mala of joy, we break up each of the groups of 9, the 9 groups of 12. We break up the 12 seeds into 4 groups of 3. And the inspiration was Samavriti Pranayama, where we breathe in for a count of 4, hold for a count of 4, breathe out for a count of 4, and hold with an empty set of lungs for a count of 4. Uturu ushanahatakirahatiraha. And over time, we can slowly increase the count to 5, to 6, to 7, to 8. Sama, same, vritti, way, thought, modality, so many different meanings, modalities of consciousness. Basically, we're giving equal weight to the in-breath, the hold, the out-breath, and the hold. And we're giving equal weight to all aspects of our chakra. And this is day number 40. And on the 4th day, oh, look at that, 4th day of Manipura, on day number 40, and 44 is the number of the archangels. Yesterday we talked about Zadkiel, Jophiel, Chamuel, and you, Da'at, you in meditation, shoring up, holding up, the four walls of your Brahma Vihara, your abode of God, your house of your creator, house of your inner being. Your inner being is your creator, is the creator of your reality. You are the creator of your reality. There is no separation between you and your inner being. Kisiya ta'arhisha, haturu ukna hatatira atara hayata arya. And 4 is foundation, stability. We're in the 4th chakra, even though we're chakra number 3. So technically today's a 444 day. Iska toguru hushaka aya ta arihita. And 40. 40 is a magical number. Let me see if I can remember. It is a pentagonal pyramid number. So utukurya tu urshana hatukurya tata 1111. It's also an 1111 number in base 3, ternary. When we're talking about the Mala of Ascension, where we break up the 108 beads into 12 groups of 9, that's not the series. And in the 9 groups, we break it up into the in-breath, the out-breath, and the hold. So it's still technically Samavriti Pranayama, but we're not holding with a full set of lungs. We're holding while we're empty. Ternary, base 3. So that's a... Quantum computers are going to think about... They're being constructed in base 3. So you have an off state, an on state, and then neither of those two is the easiest way. Some people call it indeterminate. We don't know what it is. We haven't defined what it is. Sometimes people say ternary is -1, 0, and 1. But in pure mathematics, it is 0, 1, and 2. And when you add 1 to the 2, that becomes 3, base 3. So just like in base 10, there is no single digit for 10. We go from 0 to 9, and then we go to 2 digits, a 1 and a 0, or is it from your perspective 1 and a 0? So the tens digit and the units digit. So we move over to the threes digit and the units digit. 40 is 1111 in base 3. It's the 1111 of ternary. Ushaya atakaria takaturu hushukoto. There's so many different religions that put an emphasis on 40. 40 is a way of organizing the shlokas for chanting. Because to me, 40 is like the maximum limitation of our memory of the cadence and the swinging of the chanting. They spiritually designed it that way. 40's a yeah. There's a guy on YouTube that makes fun of spirituality, but he also talks about spirituality. And one of his videos was, "I'm super spiritual." 40 is one of those super spiritual numbers. And it's not really, because if you really are super spiritual, you're just spiritual. It is what it is, because you realize that it is what it is. Ariyatakosha. Delight in all aspects of the layers of you. There's value in Anamaya Kosha with the nourishment of this physicality. And there's value in the Pranamaya Kosha, the energy and nourishment of our breath. That's how we get out of this lower chakras and this lower thinking of this physicality. Yes, being tickled by all this, the seeds of the cottonwood tree that are just flowing all around. This happens every June here in Rochester. Not my favorite seed, but hey, it looks pretty when it's floating around, but when you breathe it in, that's my problem with it. And it also looks like snow. And then after, 6 months of snow in Rochester, you don't want to see snow. You want it to be warm like it is in the mid-80s. Anyway, 40. It's also an octagonal number. So let's go back to pentagonal pyramid. So that means you take 11 or 1, 5, 12, and 22. So if you stack 22 spheres, you can arrange them in a pentagon, and then 12, you can arrange them in a pentagon, and 5, you can arrange them in a pentagon, and then you can stack 1 on top of that. So it is a 5-sided pyramid. So we can stack 40. There are so many different applications of pentagonal pyramid, or in combinatorics. Yes, I was a math major. That's how you can arrange things. Combinatorics, that's a fancy word. How many different ways can we combine things and arrange them? Tiling is fascinating to me, and how do we get different shapes to tile together, and tiling the plane and tiling a surface, and all those things are fascinating, and how we stack things. That's how we pack spheres in a box, or pack cans or whatever. There's a whole science dedicated to that, and it impacts trucking and shipping and a whole bunch of things. We can learn things from the physical world with how crystalline fields, crystalline structures pack. They pack their hexagons, they pack their, however they're arranged, they pack into stable structures. Anyway, we mentioned pranamaya kosha, where we elevate out of the lower chakras with our breath. And then we enter into the heart center and the power of the mind. And it's not necessarily the manomaya kosha isn't the same thing as Hrit and the pure bliss. We're halfway there. We can find bliss everywhere. But in the idea of the koshas, as we peel back layers of who we are, when we peel back the layer of pranamaya kosha, and we're not 100% reliant upon our breath, and we're not, there's a blue jay that's flying around, being quiet, but caught my attention. Energetically wise, Isaya Atukurachaya. Na'asa'ati rahaya. Flitting around, doing, picking up grubs off of each of the branches. Who knows how they find him? Interesting. Kasaya kuturishika. But in the Manomaya Kosha, we're in the realm of the mind. So we understand that mind over matter, and we're exploring mind over matter, and we're playing with the powers of the mind, because we're no longer reliant upon our breath, or we're reliant upon this physicality, the nourishment from it. We can derive the nourishment from our mind, maybe light codes, uskatara, arshkanahira toko. Because we realize that this thing here is in a matrix. We're in the matrix, and You think that's air you're breathing. Where we're deriving our nourishment and our satisfaction, our contentment, our bliss from the powers of the mind, of our thought, of our consciousness. And we're starting to unravel some of the secrets that we have been revealed through our proper nourishment in this physicality, our proper nourishment of our breath, our devaluing the reliance upon the physicality, the four elements. And we're into the realm of the air, where we can rearrange everything easily. All the molecules move quicker and can be rearranged more quickly. But we're still dealing with this physicality in this matrix. But we're doing magical things because we understand how we can rearrange things. And we're not limited by the physicality. Our mind is deciding. And in tarot, we're both the magician and the high priestess, because we're listening to the universe. We're listening upwards, we're listening downwards, and we're observing and we're creating. We're transforming. In yoga, there's this concept of grantis. There are three knots of consciousness, knots of emotion, knots of they're limitations of who we are until we break free of those ideas, those limitations, since we're talking about limitations. The first one is in between the root chakra and the sacral chakra, called the Brahma Granthi. And when we break free of that, when we loosen the bonds of that knot, we can observe our fight or flight response. We're no longer dominated by fear. We're no longer controlled by fear. We're no longer controlled by doubt. And we no longer just have hope that there's more to this physicality. There's more than this physical realm. And it's the first step of our ascension, of our awakening. I don't have to be afraid. The second Granthi, the second knot, is the Vishnu Granthi, and it is in between Manipura and Anahata, our solar plexus and our heart chakra. This knot, we're dealing with I don't like the way the shlokas describe it, because there are three aspects that we're dealing with. The darkness, our being, is the way I like to say it. So as we elevate ascend into the heart chakra, when we ascend, when we peel back the layer of pranamaya kosha, we reveal to ourselves the power of our mind, and we have unraveled that Vishnu Granthi, and we can see the magic, the manas of the essence of everything. And then we start to interact with everything differently, much, much, much differently, as we loosen the bonds of these knots with our breath and with proper diet. And there's this idea of bandhas, locks, the Mula Bandha Kegel exercises, basically. Let's not talk about the bandhas. Let's keep going with the granthis. And the next granthi, Rudra Granthi. Rudra is the eldest version of Brahma, the creator. And we're in the midst of Vijnanamaya Kosha, in the higher chakras. We're dealing with the higher thought forms. Vishuddha, Anya, Sahasrara, our throat, third eye, and crown. Us truly being the righteous rulers of our reality through our speech, through our insight. Because we're listening, we're observing. But to jump out of the heart center, it's very analogous. It's mapped quite well to Katuru Ushananiyarata, the Kabbalah's tree of life. Because in between the lower triangle and the heart triangle, Niyaratokushkirato, they call it the veil. And we need to open up the curtains of the veil. We got to open up the veil so that we can actually see the trueness of the energy. So traversing the veil is very similar to loosening the bonds of the Vishnu Kranti, and to get out of the heart center, to get out of, at least we're being compassionate and loving, and we see that love is the dominant force in the universe. That's the power of getting into the heart triangle. The three Sephiroth of Uturi Shikayarataka, Hesed, presided over by Archangel Zadkiel. Hesed is loving kindness, Niyatakuryoto. Same thing as one of the doorways or watchers or walls of our Brahma Vihara. Gavura, strength in compassion. Buddhism is all about compassion, and compassion, or Gavura, Gebura is another way of saying it. Archangel Chamuel is the archangel of compassion, and he or she, I see Chamuel as a she, but I also can see Chamuel as a male essence. I see Zadkiel as a male essence. So Hutur Yutukurshkoto. That's also one of our four walls in our Brahma Vihara. And Tiferet, presided over by Archangel Yophiel, Nyatahariha Katoko, the Archangel of Beauty. Tiferet means beauty. But it's also joy. Urtkiari Hadnantiarata, 4, 5, and 6. Niarata Kaskatati. Koturuhu Tatiriata Anahasayata Arihatora. And to get out of that is the abyss. The abyss. That's a daunting word. How do I cross the abyss? It's hard enough to get into the heart center for us humans when we're stuck in our humanness, when we're stuck in, they did this to me. I can't forgive them. I want to talk about them. No. I wish ill upon them. Or, can you let it go? Can you get back to your heart center? But, so Abraham Hicks says, we don't have to engage in that thought or that behavior pattern. We can choose to see in them their light, the essence of Namaste. We can choose to see the behaviors that we wish to see in them. See them in them anyway. By law, it must show up. Ukusha at arhisukuna atira hakatireta. Sa'ea kuturushikata. And just like be easy on yourself, be easy on everyone else. Akahasa ea kutukurushuto. They're trying to live their lives. No matter how differing the viewpoints of all the people that I have met, I don't think I have ever met anybody that is truly evil and that really, really, really wishes ill upon somebody else. So utuhursha anotakari hatari hatarana. There are sociopaths out there, which they're having difficulty understanding their place in, and they're stuck in their selfishness, but we don't want to dive into that. We're talking about the abyss, and getting out of the abyss. Crossing the veil, or traversing through the veil, getting into the heart center, is what we're dealing with subtly in Manipura. We're going to deal with it subtly in Anahata. And interestingly, we finish Anahata on summer solstice on the 21st of June. And maybe I'll actually do that meditation in the morning so that it's still springtime. Katura annahasaya katara ashkayata kata. But these are all just subtle energies that are working with this mala of joy, utara kanariarta kaska atirata. Kutur hushakatiratata. And getting out of, traversing this abyss. The mala of joy, the center of the mala of joy, and the center of our joyous Merkaba, this Merkaba that we know in this third dimension, is centered in the heart space. So our goal as humans is to live into the heart space in this 3D reality, which helps us elevate to the 5D. Our heart space is the 4D, moving into this loving kindness and compassionate joy in harmony, harmoniously with what we want and what everyone else wants. It's what Abraham Hicks is talking about. That's how we ascend to the 4D. But this is, the 4D is just a transitional phase to the 5D, this physicality of the 5D. Because this 5D is the real leap. It's the leap over the abyss, through the abyss, into Vishuddha, the fourth chakra, 4D, the fifth chakra, 5D, into speaking the truth. This deals with truth, living in the truth. There's so much written about the loka, the lokas, niyata arihatkatari tatara. Satya loka, niyarahatakatari. They say we're in this Kali Yoga, niyarataka, the yuga, of kasi konor orta arsha eska ayata atunor of darkness. It's contrast, okay? Viewed as contrast, please. Kali is also about destruction. And destruction is just half of the creative process. We're deconstructing, we're breaking it down. We're breaking it down. Just like we're breaking down all these ideas, we're breaking it down. And when we move into our heart centers, that's what we're doing. we're not seeing the energy arrangement as a tree. We're seeing it as energy. There is no difference between the energy of it. And if you think about it, none of these elements are actually touching each other, which is so interesting. The hydrogen is not touching the carbon, okay? The electrons orbiting the nucleus are not touching the nucleus. They're, they're socially distancing. So once we see this in our mind's eye and we can observe it, we can see that there's no limitations to this physicality, that we can pass other objects through other objects. But the abyss, how do we get from our focused on the mind to the higher wisdoms, the wisdom of truth, the wisdom of insight, of observing, and truly speaking the truth? Because it is what it is, we recognize it, it is what it is, and we see ourselves for what it is, and we see others for what they are. And we're wearing our crown, we're wearing our tiaras. Well, to me, there's a difference between the tiara and the crown. The tiara is, I'm a princess and I want to be recognized, okay? Or I'm a prince and I want to be recognized. That's the selfish teenage brat, is one way of looking at it. You do you. If you wear tiaras, I don't mean to insult you. But when you wear your crown, you can see it as a burden of responsibility, or you can see it as, this is my loving devotion of service to my community. It's like the attitude we'd love our politicians to have. Are you really in service to the community, or are you in service to your PACs, your sponsors, the people who got you elected? Money-wise, because then it's all about power and control instead of about loving service. And as we're in loving service to ourselves, and we're in loving service to our community, our family, our community, our city, our state or province, our town, our village, our country, our earth. They're all ideas of separation, they're political boundaries. As long as we're talking to somebody else and we have loving compassion, loving kindness and compassion towards them, and we're expressing joy, we're well on our way. So in between us speaking our truth and the insight is the Rudra Granthi. That's not, because can we elevate up into the insights of us being the righteous ruler of our reality? We're moving past the vibration of sound, and we're moving into the vibration of light and thought. Stuff is falling out of the tree. And can we ascend into the realm of pure consciousness, where we understand that what we think of, we're creating the question and the answer at the same time, that we're creating both sides of the coin, and we can observe it. There is only observation, because in the highest source of consciousness, nothing exists except existence, and there is only one mind, and we change our mind constantly, because we're exploring who we are, just like we're doing in this series, 108-day series, not quite 40 times 3, no to urshikata arahatakati aratakaha. Kasa anati arha sa ayato oro tokushka esa hayakati. Sahasa tatitira tata. Okay, I rambled a lot. One other thing. Nir tokushka tata. When they were revealing to me the Mala of Ascension and the Mala of Joy, and when I mapped them all on top of each other, because I'm curious, I go, you gave me the answers, but I'm like, why do I want to play with it? Why do I want to see it from all the different angles? Why do I want to do this and that and the other thing? What I thought was really curious is that when we add another tetrahedron and we develop our Merkaba of Ascension, our small stellated dodecahedron. Sorry, an ant's crawling over my phone, over the face of it, and it's going to be funny when it crawls over the camera lens. We'll blur out for a second. That the center point of the 12 dimensions is the Rudra Granti, Niyarateta, and a squirrel hopping, Niyata Ashia Toko. The center point of the Merkaba of Ascension is at the Rudra Granti. So apparently I'm linking what these three Grantis are, because I already did all the research. Niyata Arya Toko. I say here that just more ideas and more words. Because when we're only living through unconditional love, and we're only living through Om So Hum, the Hamsa from yesterday. I am that in Lakesh. I am another you. That we can see that I think we all live by I don't want to hurt me. So and once we understand that I really don't want to hurt you, because we learn to be competitive in power and control, and I got to get me mines, and the only way to ascend is to crawl over the top of you and beat you, compete with you for resources and abundance. That's a viewpoint, and that'll keep you exactly down in Anamaya Kosha. And they're just ideas that you need to do this because the law of attraction, Abraham Hicks talks about that abundance expands proportionately with desire. Kusha atakuryatata. And that's what we're learning in Manipura. We're learning to integrate Svarasthana and Manipura, our nurturing pleasure with our desires of joy, utur ashanota uriakoshurioto, our will, our inspiration of joy, merging those together and grounding them. There's so much to say about grounding. Grounding is just what is our filter and how are we seeing it, and are we off in dreaming about what it could be, or are we making it what it could be? And do we see it, grounding, do we see it as it is? There's nothing wrong with dreaming, but if we're living, 4404, but if we're living in the dream, we're creating in the higher realms. We're not creating in this 3D reality. But if we're joyful, then continue doing it. Sooner or later, we're going to want to create. You are 100%. Oh, not muted. Excellent. Look at that. Excuse me. Water's Life, 4433. We're subtly learning how to do all this. You already know how to do it. We're just expressing a lot of words. But hopefully with the chanting, with the breathing, with the light language, we're spending time with our inner being, and we're rewiring our brain, rewiring our belief systems to be more aligned with our inner being. We're gently tuning our vibration to that of our source within. As simple as that. Keep it spiritually simple. One last thing I want to share. The other epic tree over there is a maple. But look at how interesting this leaf is. It is simply amazing, the different shades of green and how that emphasizes the spine structure of this leaf, the support structure, its fractalization. But this is also how it receives light. The light gets brought into each of the cells and then gets funneled, that energy gets funneled back to the trunk. And the water flows through the veins and out to every cell of the leaf. Simply amazing. Okay. Let us meditate. Let us focus our awareness on our breath. As we slowly lengthen our breath, as we feel how it feels to breathe in, and we feel how it feels to breathe out. As we feel how it feels when we fill up our lungs, as our rib cage expands. As we feel how it feels to let out the air, as our rib cage relaxes. As we feel the cool air filling up our lungs. As we feel the warm air exit our lungs. A few more breaths on our own. Now let us focus our awareness on our heart centers. For in our heart centers is the home of our holy fire. And our holy fire is the source of our bright light. And every breath that we take with intention fans the flames of our holy fire and brightens our already bright light. As we invite and allow the holy fire to flow in, through, and around us all, in every way and everywhere and every when, Sihikatari hakanarioto horotokoshototo. Creating a safe place for us to meditate, to chant, to breathe, and to be with our inner being. Nihitukura hashkata arhaneti arhakatati aratata. And we ask the Holy Fire to only allow in that which is for our highest good. Hiskonoto orahokata ashahe sokotora. And the highest good of all, utora shayata kayata. And if you have not done so already, I invite you to start the divine flow. Hukutura shanate arhakati arata. Let us take the energy in our heart centers. Nohokoto rashakati arata. Let us move it up through the chakras and purify it. Nihotora urshkanarti arata. Through Vishuddha, Anya, Sahasrara, Vyapini, moving up through the realms, Nihukotora Urshana Hatari Rakananyarata, into the highest source of consciousness, Nihikuso Otora Hushkatiyarata, where there is no ego, where there is only unconditional love, where there is no judgment, Nihikotora Hushkototo, where it always respects free will, Kotora Ushana Natiyara Hakatatiyarata, where you are always welcome, no matter what. And where the power is unlimited. And let us bring back this purified holy fire. It is the definition of purity. It is pure. Let us bring it down through the realms. Through Vyapini, Sahasrara, Anya, Vishuddha, and back into Anahata, our heart center. Nihukoto utonahasiyata hariyata. Sohukota asahana arihikotoroho. Thoroughly mixing this energy. Nihuroto kushkahyata arnhatiyarata. And let us ground this energy effectively. Let us take this energy down through our chakras, this combined energy, down through Manipura, Svadhisthana, Muladhara, Basundhara, growing roots down into Mother Earth, down, deep into Gaia, Shakatiriyototo, wrapping these roots around the heart of Pachamama. So Ukuturu Hoshanati Arahakati Araha. Giving her a great big hug. Niara Hasakati Arahoko Nonorioto. Bringing her grounded love back up through the root system. Nihukuturu Hushakani Arahatatata. Back up through Vasundhara, Muladhara, Svadhisthana, Manipura, and back into Anahata, our heart centers. Thoroughly combining this energy, Nihikotora, Hukotora, Shahiatokototo. And let us turn over to our inner being, Nihukotoriatoko, without any thought of our own, no osa hatakatira without any thought of our mind, Niatora Hashkatokura Hasatata. No attention, no awareness, Nihukoshari Hatakatara Hata. Allow our inner being to continue this divine flow naturally, effortlessly, easily, completely. Nihikotoro Urshana Atiara Hakasaya Atoro Urshana Natiarata Iskononoto Urshahanatiara Hakata. And now on the exhale, with intention, let us push this energy out of our heart center, out of all of our chakras, out of our physical bodies, out of our energetic field, into every aspect of our awareness, that is, in every way, and everywhere, and everywhen. And let us create in our mind's eye a chest of our creation. Sanati arahatata ashahanatoro hokoto haratitiarata. And let us put in this chest all of our fears, all of our doubts, all of our anger, all of our worries, our guilt, our grief, our shame. And let's put in all of our hopes and dreams. Everything that we are manifesting, everything that we are creating. And let's put in our to-do list, our shopping list, everything we're going to do the rest of the day, tomorrow, this week, this month, everything that happened in the past. Just put it in the chest. And let us have our inner being put in what it thinks may distract during this meditation, this chant, and this time with yourself in the energy. And let us ask it to put in what it feels no longer serves, that we are ready to release. Whether they are thoughts, behaviors, habits, whatever it is. And let us close the lid on this chest. And let us set this aside. It will be there for you at the end of meditation. If you so desire. We will start off with one Aum, which is simply Om elongated to its three parts. There is no difference between Om and Aum. Sohukoto Rashaya Tokoshanati Araha. We will chant Om Mani Padme Hum 108 times using the Mala of Joy. I will keep count. We will use the 8 count. If you so wish to keep count also, I will let us know when we move up through the chakras, and I will let us know when we're on the last one. We're about to chant the last chant, and we will close out with one Aum. And a breath in for Aum. Aum. Starting off with Vasundhara. And a breath in to chant. Om Mani Padme Hum. Atoro Orsana Atakayeta. Atoro Onata Rashai.
Mani Padme
Ushanati
Hum.
Riatanahik. Atahare Hakanahara Hakatoro. Atoro
Om
Ushanahasayarta.
Mani
Arhitoro
Padme
Unhatara.
Hum.
Atita Anahakayarta. Otoro Ushanahatiaraha.
Om Mani Padme
Anihiriya
Hum.
Tukuru Husoto Hariata. Anahira Tatirata. Arnahari Arshahe Kotorum.
Om Mani Padme
Hatukayata.
Hum.
Arhanata Rahikitoro Hokoto. Ushanahatari Hikatara.
Om
Arahakari
Mani
Hasanatu
Padme
Ushoto.
Hum.
Korhutanari Hatanari Atakashir Tuhoto. Anhatiri Hisata
Om
Ari
Mani
Uturu
Padme
Ushanahati
Hum.
Rehakatare Sahana. Artusho O to Urahukatane. Atiri
Om
hirtiana haturu.
Mani
Uturu
Padme
utuanara.
Hum.
Atahari hiskono utu urahayata. Anahasi I chara hekitiro.
Om
Hotoro
Mani
unahatara hitaraha.
Padme Hum.
Atoro ukonohrotaria. Atoro urshana hatiri yarhanirata. Kotoro
Om
usana
Mani
hatare ashaheta.
Padme Hum.
Hotoro utanhateya atara heshikatira. Haroro urshonoto.
Om
Utoro
Mani
ushana hatira hata.
Padme Hum.
Hatoro ushana hatoro huka. Arahokotora shaya. Atakanaharita arihitoro.
Om Mani Padme
Arhakanani
Hum.
itiyarata. Moving up to Muladhara. Turu
Om
hushaya
Mani
nahati.
Padme
Atari to
Hum.
o nahatakursho noto. Aturu urhukanahre heteti. Arhatira ha
Om
anahatira hata.
Mani Padme
Naturu huchokoto
Hum.
urnohotoro. Arshihineata arhaskati. Arhusho utuhurnatara.
Om
Atahura
Mani
ukanaharieta ha.
Padme Hum.
Artakanahati itiara hatat anahashira. Haturu ushana haturu hukata.
Om
Harawa ashiyata.
Mani Padme
Atakunohoro hutukursha.
Hum.
Haturu uhanate arahatitaha. Hotoro ukanahata
Om
arahashaya.
Mani Padme
Aturu
Hum.
ushana hayatati. Haratukushano. Utohonoto arahaya. Haturu
Om
ukanahata
Mani
arihishayata.
Padme Hum.
Hatara anahatikera. Haturu ushana haturu hukata. Atiara hakasiyara.
Om Mani
Arhukonoro
Padme
hukutura haya.
Hum.
Atarneyara ashanahatikero hoto. Hotoro ukana haturu ho.
Om
Atura
Mani
ayakanara hasa atura
Padme
hayataya.
Hum.
Hata arashaya anahatikuru huchujo. Atuara hayata anahatiria.
Om
Hatoto
Mani
ukana
Padme
hatiyaraha.
Hum.
Atahanatiyara hakaturo. Otoro utanahata arihete.
Om
Tonoro hokoto.
Mani Padme
Atuhura hayata
Hum.
arahisono. O tohurshana atihiria. Atokucha anuhoto urusana.
Om
Sawahishia.
Mani Padme
Ataharihiso otoroho.
Hum.
Arkawanare hashiara. Arahokonoroho. Huturu.
Om
Shanahate yarahaka.
Mani
Atani
Padme
yarahatataha.
Hum.
Moving up to Svadhisthana.
Om
Tutu
Mani
huturu
Padme
hushayatarahana.
Hum.
Anahaturu nahatura hayata. Atakashihita anata ravashia.
Om
Atuhuru
Mani
konaharu huturu
Padme
hashia.
Hum.
Anahasi asahatura. Naharita nahatoro.
Om
Shanahatiri hata.
Mani Padme
Atakanaha.
Hum.
Atuhuru hokonoro hotoha. Hatata anahatara.
Om
Arshihiso
Mani
o tonohoro
Padme
oshonohotoro.
Hum.
Aravashi anahakoto. Atura sheyata arhanaheta.
Om
Arhono
Mani
ortunayata.
Padme
Arhusa
Hum.
atanahariarata. Atoto unoto ushahaya kotoro. Arsanera.
Om Mani
Arsihanera tokusho.
Padme
Ortonoro
Hum.
hushaya a katira hanata artakaheata.
Om
Hotoro ushana hatura
Mani
shahayata
Padme
anahasayata.
Hum.
Aturu ushana haturu hana. Koshuhutu urshuhutura hanata.
Om
Anahasiyati
Mani
arahanara.
Padme
Arhashaya
Hum.
atakahiato. O tuhurshukuturiata. Artanahata ashahiato.
Om
Awasho.
Mani
Ukoto
Padme
uruhunata.
Hum.
Atuhutu ursho. Tiarahatirata. Anahatiro o shohotoro.
Om Mani
Anahatira hatar
Padme
aranahatur
Hum.
hokotora hana. Aturu ushana haturha. Atuna
Om
haravata shuhuto.
Mani Padme
Aruhonoro
Hum.
ushuhyotoroho. Akanahara hatiraha. Atuhuno u tukurshaya turaha.
Om Mani
Atuhura
Padme
anahatira
Hum.
hakaha. Moving up to Manipura. Hoturu
Om
ushana
Mani
haturu
Padme
shayaturda.
Hum.
Anahatiriata ataharahisa atahorono O Tuhurhusha.
Om
Anahari to
Mani
Urshana to Urha.
Padme Hum.
Anahatiri Hakanaharta. Arahono O Tuhurshaya. Atiri Anahata.
Om Mani
Atukohoto.
Padme
Ushana Hatiri
Hum.
Hakaya Akanahata. O Tuhurta Harshaya Toto. Arhukonai
Om
Aratana Asa E
Mani
Tuhurushotora
Padme
Ayatohoto.
Hum.
Ushana Asa Akahayata Artohosha. Aturu Ushana Hatakira.
Om Mani
Atanaharaha.
Padme
Arahukoshoryo.
Hum.
Arhukono O Huturhata Hanahata. Arhasaniriata
Om
Harshokotokuria.
Mani Padme
Anahatiriata
Hum.
Arshkanearta. Haturu Ushana Hatakaraheti. Hashahe
Om Mani Padme
Atuarhiso
Hum.
Urnhoshaya. Arhukonoro Ota Taura Hasheata. Arhana. Arthasi.
Om
Artukushu.
Mani
Atuhuno.
Padme Hum.
Utukurshanata Arhisokota. Arhutoro Kanaharisa.
Om
Atakashihisa.
Mani
Anaharihisa.
Padme Hum.
Atiarahanata. Karahasa akatoro husho toro hukuto. Anahar hutursho.
Om Mani
Arukonoro
Padme
oshahoto.
Hum.
Aruhukunara washira hukuturu ushana huturu. Utowara hayat
Om
arnhata ahe.
Mani
Arahukona
Padme
arhaya.
Hum.
Haturu ushana hatarahi. Arakonoro ushaya watarihina.
Om Mani
Arukono hotoro.
Padme
Uto
Hum.
uno. Moving up to Anahata. Oto
Om
Unahatar
Mani
Ahayata Atanahatirahata.
Padme
Otoro Ukanahatati Ititiarahatara Hakatiraha.
Hum.
Kunata
Om
Araha.
Mani
Atuhuru
Padme
Huturusha.
Hum.
Arhokono U Hokata Arhetata. Haturu Ukanahatita.
Om Mani
Konarihisa.
Padme Hum.
Aturu Ushana Hatutura Hakatira. Hatira an Hanahatikiriata.
Om Mani
Hutura Usana
Padme
Hatiata Atana
Hum.
Hatiata. Otoro Hukanahara. Atahanari Hisoto.
Om
Hotoro Ushana
Mani
Hatikira.
Padme Hum.
Anahateri Tiarahaya Atuturu Hukanohorahota. Anahati
Om
Tiarahana.
Mani
Arhonoro
Padme Hum.
Ukunohorotukushaya. Atuhonoro Ushana Hatiraha. Arhatukurno Hotoro Hoto.
Om Mani
Arawashisa
Padme
Arkohonoro.
Hum.
Arawayetoro Anatora Hashe. Anahasa Ayekatarha. Arhasanatar
Om
Ushanoto.
Mani
Uturu
Padme
Usanahatira
Hum.
Hatakayata. Hatuna Nonor Hokoto. Anahatita
Om Mani
Arhukushunoto
Padme
Kunohaturaha.
Hum.
Hatur Nahasa Ehetar Henatar. Oruknoro
Om
Urshahayatuhurata.
Mani
Anata
Padme
Atahatiraha.
Hum.
Konohurhutura Hanaha. Arsihi Sanatirahaya.
Om Mani
Hatur
Padme
Ushanahatita
Hum.
Harata. Konohurhutoro. Kanahirata.
Om
Atuno
Mani
Atwaraha.
Padme Hum.
Arkanahayatarata. Moving up to Vishuddha. Huturu
Om
Husana
Mani
Hatura Hashaya.
Padme
Anahate te
Hum.
Arihanoto Urtanaharoto. Huturu Ushahaya Akanahayata.
Om
To
Mani
Hutunuhurashayata.
Padme
Haturu
Hum.
Ukanahatara Hakayata. Haturu Anahatakarhitira. Harisonoto
Om
Urtuhurto.
Mani
Tur
Padme
Shahayata
Hum.
Arshana. Artu Tur Hukur Hukushkarwatar. Haruto Urhutur
Om
Husha.
Mani
Arhatur
Padme
Urkanur
Hum.
Yatariatu. Huratakara. Arhatakarita Harhisa
Om
Arhana
Mani
Hatarhatoro.
Padme Hum.
Urahataryataria. Arhuroto Oroto Oroko Shoyo.
Om
Huruk
Mani
Urhana
Padme
Atiriara.
Hum.
Arhukur Ukaryartana Hatyar.
Om Mani Padme Hum.
Hamsa.
Om Mani Padme Hum.
Harwahashi Arata Araha.
Om Mani Padme Hum.
Harha Arhata Oroto Orha.
Om Mani Padme Hum.
Horhokotor Hosha. Har Ayahatar
Om Mani Padme Hum.
Harata Arhitoroho. Horhokoshayata. Harayatar
Om Mani Padme
Horoto
Hum.
Urhukoto. Moving up to Anya.
Om
Hushashia
Mani
Nahatur
Padme
Hushoyoto
Hum.
Urhuturuhut. Annahasur Hushayotoroho. Konuru Hutsudyarahaya.
Om Mani Padme
Haturahayana
Hum.
Durhayata. Anhuto Ushuhuyo Hutur Hatanari
Om
Aratanirata.
Mani Padme
Kasahanata
Hum.
Hatari Hatar Hata. Hartukunoro Ushnodoro Huturo. Haroro
Om
Urshana
Mani
Arhisoto
Padme
Utunoryuto.
Hum.
Arhisonor Hukashiyata Anahasira. Artursha Ayat Urahanara.
Om Mani
Artakira
Padme
Arhukanoro
Hum.
Ushanahotoro Hoshoyoto Urho. Harina Hartare Ishanoto. Arukosha
Om
Amanato
Mani
Urhukata.
Padme Hum.
Haturu Ushana Haturahaya. Atukunoro Hushana Hatira Hatar
Om
Haka.
Mani
Haturu
Padme
Ushana Hatiro
Hum.
Hortuhucha. Arwakaheata. Arakonohoro Hokaya. Hatunoro
Om Mani
Ushanur Hayata.
Padme Hum.
Arehutira na Asahya Katarha. Haturu Ukanohoro Huturha.
Om Mani
Arasana
Padme
Hatiri
Hum.
Hakatari Hisonoto. Tenihirha. Arahukushoto Futuro.
Om
Tur
Mani
Pahanara.
Padme
Arahakonoro
Hum.
Hokoto. Hutur Usha. Anahasiatiara. Nahariti Tiara
Om
Hanata Arhitoro.
Mani Padme
Arwashiata
Hum.
Anahatara Ayatoro. Hokono O Hotoro Hoka. Hosho Hotoro
Om Mani Padme Hum.
Hakayata. Moving up to Sahasrara. Hotur
Om
Hushana
Mani
Atiri Hanata
Padme
Ariato
Hum.
Toto. Hatur Shaya Nohoto O Tonoyata Ariato Nohoto.
Om
Anahasayata
Mani
Anahatayata.
Padme Hum.
Hotoro O Nahatara Artakanahatara. Hashu Uyo Honoro Hotora.
Om
Arhoshaya
Mani
Atanaya
Padme Hum.
Arhosaya Atonohotoro. Arhushoyo O Kanohorto Gajaya.
Om
Kanahara
Mani
Ayasho Oya
Padme
Kanohorto Hadyato.
Hum.
Harwa Ayatonohoto Orhata. Harhini Arhakashaya. Artono
Om
Orhanator.
Mani Padme
Ushoyoto O
Hum.
Shayoto O Tanawaharoto Koshayoto. Hudara Arhanaya.
Om Mani
Arashukonoro
Padme
Hotayatiraha.
Hum.
Arhukono O Husotoriata. Harakonohoraha. Arwahakachoro
Om
Ho.
Mani Padme
Arhukono O
Hum.
Hutatiraha. Hatoro O Kanaharuturasha. Arkonohoraha.
Om Mani
Arwayeta
Padme
Tarahikonoro.
Hum.
Hotoro O Hanahatira Hakaya. Hatono O Kataha.
Om
Atur
Mani
Hutukushaya.
Padme Hum.
Arhokonohota Anahasira. Ahashira Hanahiraha. Arahukonora
Om
Haturu
Mani
Huto.
Padme
Atahanara.
Hum.
Ahwashara Atonohorjo. Artukonohorhoto. Arta Arshisa Aya
Om Mani
Anahatuota.
Padme
Harwa
Hum.
Ashahiatara Hanahati. Arahoko Onohosokotorusha. Arahukiata
Om
Anahiata.
Mani Padme
Hatuno
Hum.
Uhutorha. Moving up to Vyapini. Hatiri
Om
Hanahatiara
Mani
Hakato
Padme Hum.
Arewashaya Anharhutur Hona. Arawashir sa Nahayato
Om
Arhakono
Mani
Urtakushaya
Padme Hum.
Arhunaya Atar Hasiyata Arhisha Akanaharieto Utur
Om
Ushahaya
Mani
Kunara
Padme
Aruhashi
Hum.
Artana Arhayata Arihana Uturu Ushana Hartoko
Om
Arwashir sa
Mani
Aturusha
Padme
Arwa Asa
Hum.
Ayata Tarnaha Awashohyo Ortukurtarya Arhosono O
Om Mani
Hutiturshaya
Padme Hum.
Konahatara Ataya Artukushoyo Okohotara Hisono O
Om
Hotatiraha
Mani
Ahohanara
Padme
Atiraha
Hum.
Atohutor O Kanahatirihata Otor O Hanaturahaya
Om Mani
Atukusha A
Padme Hum.
Anahaturuhoka Atowaharahita Arhashanahatirata Haturu
Om
Ukanahaturu
Mani
Hukatera
Padme Hum.
Haturu Ukanahatitiara Hayata Ochana Hatiriara
Om
Ochahoroko
Mani
Tonara
Padme
Haturu
Hum.
Ukanahatiriara Hatara Harahokoro O Honotoro Hokatira
Om
Haturu
Mani
Ushana Haturahaya
Padme Hum.
Haturu Anaha Etuko Harata Kashahanatari Hitaka
Om Mani
Atahari Hukoro Ono
Padme
Hotoroho
Hum.
Haturo Hanatiraha Kona
Last one.
Hatiriaka
Om
Arahonoro
Mani
Hokoto
Padme
Isha
Hum.
Anaha. Stay here for as long as you like. Maybe even pause the video. When you are ready, slowly deepen your breath. Slowly bring your awareness back to the here and now. Maybe invite in some gentle movements. Maybe wiggle your fingers and toes. And when you are ready, slowly open your eyes and welcome in the new now. Huturu ukana hatara arshahe kotoro hokatara he katata. Congratulations, my friends. Congratulations, my friends. Nihatakati aratata. We have completed day number 40. Itukotoro hokanari arata. Each day in this series brings new challenges for me. Kananiarata katiarata. Leading this series, Om Mani Padme Hum is sharing so much with me. My inner being is sharing so much with me. But leading this thing, and a new visitor. We have a really small green caterpillar on the cell phone and walking across the face of it straight down like it's crawling on the tree here. It is so interesting. And if it wants to go over to the camera lens, it'll be hilarious. Spiritual meaning of a caterpillar. Let me switch my legs, my leg position. The unique challenges of leading this. When I meditate on my own, I am letting go completely. And my consciousness goes up into the higher realms. My inner being is in control of the narrative during my meditations. I let go of my mind and the thoughts of my mind, and I go off to wherever. I can't do this while chanting. Well, I can. While chanting on my own, I can. I just got to chant. I just got to let my heart use my throat to do the chanting, and I can go off on my inner being's narrative. What it wants to show me. But I got to keep count. I got to know where we are on the Mala of Joy. I got to keep count on the 8 count to match up with the video, because this is in service to you. So this isn't about me. And when I'm doing my own meditations or my own chanting, I can get into the pratyahara, the withdraw of the senses. I don't feel my physical body anymore. I feel, especially today, I felt the ants crawling all over me, especially during Sahasrara. One came over my forehead, if you rewatch that section, and went over my eyelid. I had to make sure it stayed closed. I was so conscious at that point. And then it went down here, and then I went back into, I released the thought of it. I went back into pratyahara. I went back into the chant. Hopefully I didn't skip a beat, but hey, that's why we got me chanting with me in the soundtrack and the live. So at least if I mess up, we got something consistent going on here. And at times it was driving me crazy. This gentle breeze is carrying all the cottonwood seeds. And when I'm breathing through my nose, and the cottonwood and the spider web, because there's now spider webs on my tripod, because I've been here so long that the spiders have made it its home, and spider webs are draping across me, and I'm inhaling the cottonwood seeds. It is a severe test of focus and concentration. So thank you, Spirit, for all the distractions. So to all of you, be easy on yourselves. Get distracted. Allow yourself to get distracted in life and during the meditation. And if you rewatch the video during the meditation, you can see me chuckling a little bit during the chanting. It's because I'm being more conscious, because something's either crawling on my face, crawling up my neck, in my ears. It's hilarious. And then I chuckle with it, and I roll with it, and hopefully I don't miss a beat, but hey, it is harder to go into the pratyahara when leading, when doing this for others. When I'm chanting on my own, if I mess up where I am in the Mala of Joy, or a Mala, or the Mala of Ascension, whatever I'm using at the time, I use my workout ethic. If I can't remember what rep I'm on while lifting, I err on the side of caution. So if I think I'm on, if I'm doing a set of 12 and I don't know whether or not I'm on 8 or 9, I err. It's 8. We'll do an extra. So what? And if during the count, if I don't move up a bead or a seed, and then I just stay on it, and I do an extra chant, or I do an extra 3 chants, or 7 chants, whatever it is, or I err on the side of caution. And so what if I do 122 Om Mani Padme Hums or Om Soham or Om Ahum Uchukushka Arawati Tirata or Loka Samasta Sukino Bhavantu Hutur Asha Ana Akiasha Ahata Arikutur Hataria. That magical mantra always lifts me up, opens up instantaneously, opens up all my chakras if they aren't already. I ignite spontaneously, and I am ecstatically enjoy with that mantra. I tear with that mantra. Asahuturo ayata arukatara nahaskatirata. Maybe at the end of this series, and the caterpillar is now coming down on top of me in the video, and going right along the red line of my headset into my heart center. This little caterpillar, soon going to build its cocoon, just like us. That's what this day 4, 5, and 6 is all about. We've built our cocoon. We are exploring, playing with, exciting the energies in the chakra. It's katora usha nahatura ayata atare hakatare sanatukurdo. Atare ashkata atita urusonota urakatura. Kisaha atirahatirata. And we're building up the energies. We're igniting the energies inside our heart centers, inside each of the chakras. And soon we'll break out of our cocoon and we'll fly away. Like the beautiful butterflies and moths that we are. I don't know exactly what type of caterpillar this is or what it will turn into, a moth or a butterfly. But you are you. You are magnificent and beautiful. And as we gently gently tune our vibration to that of our inner being, 4114, just a couple seconds ago. And here's the little spider coming off onto. I was wondering who you were. This is an interesting, clear spider with its abdomen more peach colored, but the legs are all translucent, and the first 2 legs are super long. I don't know what type of spider that is, but we are one of the strands of web in Indra's web. We are a thought of God. We are a thought of Indra. And that's all channeling is. That is all light language is that we tug on a thread of the web of consciousness and allow it to speak through us without our mind or judging it. We just let it go because we trust in our law of attraction. We trust in our vibration of our inner being. We trust in the holy fire to only allow in that which is for our highest good. Whether we have a doorman a door person, a gatekeeper, a watcher. You can have all four watchers. You can have all four archangels of the four directions. Michael in the east, Raphael in the south, Uriel in the west, and Gabriel in the north. We can have, we'll call it the four archangels of the Brahma Vihara, or the triangle of the heart in Kabbalah, Eskatitiara Hatakatur Shukoto, Archangel Zadkiel, in the pillar of mercy, Archangel Chamuel in the pillar of severity, and in the pillar of balance is Archangel Jophiel. But you are the fourth archangel. If you choose to see yourself that way, your inner being is made of the same divine light that the archangels are made of, and there is no separation. So 44:14 in this section of the video. So we're going long today, my friends. Apologies and sorry, not sorry. You can zoom ahead, you can pause, we're done with the meditation. You can stop at any point in time. I respect your free will to choose to resonate or not. And sitting in meditation and being present and not present at the same time. And the spider is back crawling on top of the cell phone at this point. My legs, and it's moving over towards the camera, no, the lens. Sitting in seated meditation gives new feeling to my hips and my legs. Oh, there we go. That was the spider. 45:25, is that what it was? Clearly the spider wants, what is spider medicine? That's your Google homework. Clearly the spider wants some attention and wants some recognition for the webs that it weaves and the webs that we weave. Can we weave our webs out of simplicity, keeping it simple? Can we weave our webs out of loving kindness, compassion, joy, harmony, unconditional love, non-judgmentally, with temperance and prudence, whatever virtue you want to call it. Can we live our lives from our heart centers? Okay. I thank you, my friends, for joining in my highest bliss. I don't intend for each of these videos to keep going longer and longer and longer. It is what it is. So I thank you, my friends, for sharing in my highest bliss. Shine on and make it a great day, because why would you leave it up to anyone else? Iskatia tierta ashuhuko anahateka.